back, guys. We're back on this thing again, and it just goes to show you that you never know when you buy these. Even though I bought Tusk engine gasket set, it doesn't mean you're getting good stuff. I know that if you read the fine print, they're still made in China. So I guess I got the unlucky lottery on this one. So the problem is that when I start this thing up, it smokes really, really bad. And then after you run it for a little while, the smoke goes away. So I rebuilt this top end. I put new valve seals in it, new piston, ring, cylinder, all that stuff. It's not the rings. I know it's not the rings, because if it was the rings, it would smoke all the time, and the smoke goes away after you run it for a while. And then you let it sit, you start it, it smokes unbelievably. So that's telling me that oil in the rocket chamber is leaking down the valve stem and into the combustion chamber. And when I start it up, it smokes like crap until we burn it off. So I have this fan on here because this thing is really gonna smoke, and I want to blow it right out the door. So let me put the camera down and fire this up and show you exactly what I mean. Let's put the choke on. As you saw from the opening video, I don't know what's the matter with this pig, but it ran great, and now it's starting to smoke. It's just been sitting around. I had it sold. I had to back out of it because it's just not running right, and I'm not that type of person to sell something that's not right. And actually, it's running right. It's just smoking. And I don't know why. So we're gonna probably have to tear into the motor to find out why it's smoking. It wasn't smoking when we first got it together, but it's smoking now. After I took it for a few rides, it started smoking. So one or two things happen. I either have the rings too close together on the gap and it's getting a little bit of oil blow by, or we got a valve seal issue, or we got a oil feed issue going to the top of the head. Maybe that O-ring's gone. Maybe that O-ring wasn't the right size that came in the kit. I don't know. So it's either valve seals, rings, or we got a bad O-ring somewhere in the motor. So the only way to find out is to tear it apart. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is take the inspection caps off for the valves, and I'm going to try to look in there with a flashlight and see if I can see the valve seal. Maybe the valve seal popped up. I don't know, but that's what we're gonna do first. All right, let's pull the plug anyways and get a look at that. See what that looks like. You guys see that plug? It is oil fouled. So we're getting oil in the combustion chamber somehow. I didn't have a clamp on here, so I just grabbed the hose clamp out of my stash, and I'm gonna put it on there just to keep this a little bit tighter. Taking the motor mounts out now. I don't think the problem is with the rings, but we won't know 100% until pull the head. Alright, that's out. Alright, that should hold it for now while we continue to loosen this stuff up. I'll crack these. So I bought a new gasket set. I bought a full top end because I don't know exactly what's wrong with this thing. When I pull the head apart, if I don't see anything wrong. Guys, what do you call this? I've heard it called a wobbly. We call it a swivel here in the Northeast. Comment below. Let me know what you guys call it. It's also can be known as a nose breaker because if you put that on an impact gun and it comes off, you're pretty sure that socket's going flying. And with my luck, 9 out of 10 times it's gonna end up hitting me in the face. That one's out. See, again, it's a dance. They do come out, but they don't want to come out easy. So these, you gotta kind of loosen the head up and pull it forward. And then they have to come out through the gap between the steering stem and all these wires. One way to do it. Alright, let's get this head off of here. Let's see what we're dealing with. So first I want to just kind of pull it up so I can grab the timing chain. So I don't want the timing chain to fall off. Because I don't want to fish that thing out of the case. So let's just latch that there. And we do have this one issue over here with the timing chain guide. But you can get it off if you manipulate it enough. It will come off. All right. It appears I have to take the fender support off. All right, guys, here we are. At the bench. And this head was cleaned up really well. And you can see there's carbon in there from oil burning. And that is the exhaust valve that is carbonated. So it leads me to believe that we have a bad valve seal. And as you can see in there how oil soaked that is, exactly what's going on. Now, it could be the intake valve as well. It's giving us issues, but as you can see down the side of there, let me try to get this out a little further. Down the side of there, that thing is squeaky clean. There is no issue down there at all with oil. It is all in here. The combustion chamber itself is still clean, except for that one valve here. Take a look down there. You can see oil sitting on top of the piston. Shouldn't be like that. And it is inside the cup for the exhaust valve. So I mean, everything's really good and wet in there. You can see that O-ring there is crushed properly. That's got to be replaced again. I don't see any blow by on the cylinder. Go around the other side and look. Oh, we got something going on there. What's going on there? Oh, we have scratches. Let me see. What's going on there? Huh. Alright, let me put this down and take a better look at that. Alright guys, I'm going to pull the cylinder, take it over to the bench and look at it. It looks like it's scorned, but I don't know how that'd be possible. Take a look at the cylinder. And the gasket looks like it's been stretched. You can see here, we got damage on the bottom there. The O-ring squished out pretty good, I guess. So we need to replace that. Yeah, this gasket didn't sit in there very well for some reason. Let's pull it off of here and get a better look at it if we can. Yeah, that's damaged. And we got some kind of blow by there. This engine was really hard to get together, considering how difficult it is to get the head and everything assembled in one spot. Okay, that O-ring needs to be replaced. Let's check this one. That one don't look that bad. It's gonna get replaced anyway. Let's pull that out. All right, let's see. No O-ring on that, but I'm wondering if there should be. I am wondering if there should be. Look at this one here. That one's loose too. Let me get the O-ring out of there. Actually, the whole thing popped out. Alright, now I don't see that one in the other kit. Pull that out. That one's not in there, so we're gonna have to reuse it. Alright, let's take a look at this bore. So for some reason, it looked like it was scorned. Take a look at it. Light here. You guys can see that. It looks scorned to me. But I don't think it's affecting. I can't feel it on my fingernail. Might hit that with a piece of Scotch-Brite just to see. I don't feel anything on my fingernail though. Alright, we're gonna have to pull the rockers out. Alright guys, I lost my battery. I got this one out. I showed you the method, I'll show you again. I just gotta get the stays off of this one. I don't know if I don't know if you guys are like me or not, but I spend more time looking for sockets and stuff that I just had. Let's get these out of here. And it doesn't, there's no science here. It's just a spacer so you can get this pin out. I think I bottomed out already. Alright. Now, so it should be up enough now that I can grab it with this. That's it. Pull it right out. There it is. Pull the springs out. Let's see. So this one, this isn't very tight either. These valve seals are not very tight on there. There we go. All right, they're out. You know what, guys? This is not the right head gasket. That should not be like that because the new head gasket I got isn't like that. So that, the new one I got has a metal ring and it doesn't have these things. So something isn't right here. It's causing something not to be right. So, glad I pulled it apart. Something was not right. Alright, we are going to put new valve seals in it. I am going to clean this all up. So, I'm going to do that off camera. Come back when I'm done. Alright guys, the head's all back together. New valve seals, everything looks good. I think we're good to go. Let's put the rockers back in. And I'm just going to grab a hold of it and pull it up until it hits the flat. Try this way. A little more leverage. There we go. That one's up. Same with this one. This is all ready to go back in. I guess what we want to do now is go over to the bike and set the base gasket. And I don't know what happened to this base gasket. Let me move this head out of the way. I don't know what happened to this base gasket, but man, it does not look good. All these holes are stretched out. Here's the new base gasket. You can see what it's supposed to look like and what it actually looks like. Now, I'm not sure how that got all jacked up, but it did. We'll put this on. Be right back. All right, I got the cylinder slid back on. I was very, very careful with that bottom base gasket. I don't know how that other one got stretched out the way it did, but all right, we're down on it right now. I am going to snug this screw up right here to allow me to keep this thing stationary. I'm not going to torque it. I'm just going to snug it just so that this doesn't move while we start putting the top end on. All right, guys, before I throw the head on, I'm going to bench set the valve lash. There's really no reason why you can't do it because you're supposed to set it cold anyway, and this is about as cold as it gets. So we want 7,000 on the exhaust and 3,000 on the intake. I'm not going to video it. I've done it in previous videos. If you want to go back and watch, feel free. So yeah, we'll do that now. Come back when I'm done. All right, guys, you can see there, we're at top dead center. There's an F and a T. The F is just before the T. The piston, I don't think is all the way to the top. The top dead center. That's it right there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to install the head. Sorry about that. My wife called and while I was talking to her on the phone, I continued to work. I had her on speaker. Anyway, I got the head bolts in there. We're going to snug those up right now. And I double checked the alignment of the gasket and everything looks good. So I guess at this point, all we can do is just throw this thing back together and hope that we don't have any more issues. So it's looking like anywhere between 29 and 32 foot-pounds for these head bolts. I don't know. Probably go 30, I think. I'll go 15 and then 30. All right, 15 foot-pounds in a crisscross pattern. And truth be told, I really do like these air-cooled engines. These old Yamahas, they're literally bulletproof. Alright, we got 15 all the way around. I'm going to crank it up to 30. We call it a day. I don't know if you guys can see that. Right there's a 0 and a 30. So. All right, we're torqued. All right, I got the 2 head bolts in here and I got the cylinder bolt tight. So everything's tight now, it's torqued, it's in. It's on top dead center. You guys can see there. All right, let's put the timing chain gear on now. There we go. And let's get a look here. So that mark is in line with that notch. And if you guys can see that down there. Well, wouldn't you know it, the motor moved. Get back on top dead center. Alright, that's top dead center. And I'm probably a tooth or two off, so let's see if we can just rotate the tooth. That mark is lined up. And let me see if I can get a little bit better. We are on top dead center. So that looks good. Now, we'll put the nut in here. And hold that. And when you take the spring out, you can push this back in by lifting that detent. Push it in and it stays. Now let's pop this back in. It only goes in one way. Alright, so let's put the chain tensioner in now. And basically, you just slide it back in. It will push the tensioner against the chain guide. Crank her over and see if everything's working. I like to crank it over by hand. I'm just going to put a wrench on this, and we're going to crank it to make sure everything's free. We don't have any interference. The valves seem to be working. There's no plug in it. The assembly, rotating assembly, seems to be going pretty good. I think we're good. All right. I'm gonna put the side cover back on, put the timing inspection cap back on, put this cap back on, put these two caps back on, come back when I'm done. Hey guys, I just want to jump into the middle of this video here real quick and say that I apologize for not showing in detail everything that I'm doing on this ATV. I did a complete build series on this exact ATV over the winter, and it's on the channel, and I think it's nine videos or 10 videos that goes into full in-depth rebuild on this. So if it's something you guys want to see, go back in the library and check it out. Once again, I apologize, but I don't want to be repetitive, so that's the reason. All right, everything's back in. I put the fender support on, plug is in, wire's on. I popped the carburetor back on, caps are on for the valves. Just gonna walk over the other side. Timing chain caps on, inspection for the timing mark is on, engine mounts are in. I think that's pretty much it. I think that's all I did off. Oh, and I put this cover back on too. All right, I think next what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on the head pipe and the airbox, hook the battery up, and then I think I want to start this and see if it's smoking anymore. Let's cross our fingers. All right guys, let's see what this thing does. Oh, we got a leak. We got a leak. All right, we figured out what the leak was. The float was stuck in the carburetor, so I just gave it a couple taps with the back end of a screwdriver, and it stopped leaking. So I think we're okay. Let's try to start this thing up. Let's see what it does. All right, choke on, key on. Fire it up. The idle might be a little bit low. Because it did get a lot of oil inside the pipe, but it's not smoking now. And it might have run out of gas. I don't think there's a lot of gas in the tank. Nope, that's a lot of gas in there. Alright guys, thanks for watching this. I'm glad it's done, as you guys can see right there. She's running awesome. I got the whole herd here. That's just my yard machine. It's pretty beat up. You guys remember that from previous videos. I think I did a video on that a year or something ago. It just won't die. Plows my driveway in the winter, and it with the landscape trailer that I have for it, or the yard trailer, or lawn tractor trailer that I have for it, it hauls all kinds of stuff out into the woods and I dump it. Thing is great. I forget what I paid, $600 for that thing. It didn't run and I got it running. Beautiful. Anyway, here they are. Wife's, mine, and I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with that yet. It is running awesome though. I may keep it, I may ship it out west, I don't know, we'll see. Let's recap, shall we? So these are the gaskets I took out. And man, I'll tell you what, I don't think it was the right gasket set, honestly. I mean, look at this thing. How does it stretch out like that? Or was the hole always that big? Because it's not, I mean, the new gasket, the hole was like that. And that one was like that. I think oil was getting by that, because that is an oil feed to the top of the engine. And I don't understand how these got all stretched out. That was broken, so we were getting blow by on that. The O-ring that went on the bottom of the motor seemed like it was too big, too thick in diameter. I don't know. And then this head gasket, we had this issue right here. We had this issue right here where it was squashing. If you guys can see that. That rivet was getting jammed in the middle there. And then this one here is flattened out too. And the new one was just a paper gasket with a metal compression ring. I don't think this is the right gasket for this machine. If it is, it wasn't made properly. These triple gaskets like this are usually for high compression engines. So I don't know. Anyway, this is the set that I bought on eBay, and stay away from it. And this is the one that I bought off of eBay that fixed the problem. Now, again, were they both Tusk? I don't know. I usually have good luck with Tusk stuff. For some reason, this gasket set wasn't the greatest. And you know what? I took the side cover off this as well, and the side cover gasket didn't fit. I had to buy another one. So I don't even think that gasket set was even for this bike. I think it was mislabeled on eBay, or they shipped me the wrong one. I don't know. But that was my problem. So I don't know how the oil was getting in the motor. It was either through the valve seals, or head gasket, or base gasket. Anyway, I replaced the gaskets, and I replaced every gasket in the motor and the valve seals, and problem solved. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. There'll be more videos coming. Like, share, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. It helps the channel grow, and I'm going to try to get back on the ATV content as much as possible. If not, there'll be other good stuff that you guys can learn from, like fixing cars and stuff. I'm actually considering right now doing a long-term project, maybe getting a short bed 1500 series pickup truck, Chevy, and putting a lowering kit on it and all that. I'm thinking about doing that, and let me know if you guys think that's a great idea or not, or if there's something you want to see. Once again, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video.